Check this out.
Real shop talk. We got Mack in the house. Got me on Instagram, Dirty 1906. We got John Scott in the house. We did a previous podcast, and they're gonna be released via Facebook only. Slim down version of it. So y'all guys, introduce yourselves first, and we'll roll that way.
John Scott, Demopolis, Alabama. I own a funeral home in Demopolis, Alabama, Larkin and Scott Funeral Home. Been in business over 110 years, and I've been serving as Moreno County Coroner for the past 3 years.
Mack Davis, soldier, United States Army, Dirty Dave 1906 Instagram for the last 6-7 years. Have a couple followers.
23,000.
23,000, y'all.
I'm gonna be modest about it. I say stuff from time to time to actually challenge people to actually think. So it started off as 2 or 3 and be like, okay, found somebody to actually. If I say something, people be like, okay, I was thinking the same thing, and then it just grew from there.
So what you saying that is where you want to start? Cause your page got a wide range of topics and discussions. So where you want to start?
The last 2 hours we've been just chopping it up about life. So
Yeah.
I'm saying about everything. Like
We should have came in talking.
we talked about everything, so it can be a continuation of that. If there's anything special you want to talk about,
Not really. What topic y'all want to start off with? We gotta start somewhere. After it
Bro,
start,
we've
it
been
gonna
talking
keep
about
rolling.
2 hours.
Yeah, we already talking.
Yeah.
We should have walked in the door and put these mics on
Pretty
and
much.
just crank it up. So we'll start with how you now that you're living in Alaska, you actually living a dream most people want to live. You becoming a top ranked soldier. People follow you. You got a family and 23K followers on Instagram. So you live in the social media world and you live in the real life world, but you're successful in both. So you're living most people's dreams at this point. And in 2019, most people want to be social media famous and they want to do it in real life while being a family man. So how do you navigate that from social media? Then I gotta cut it off. I'm at home. I'm dead again.
it's easy. My family keeps me super humble, and then Instagram don't pay the bills, so I know where I have to go to work at. So that's the thing is But the cool thing is when you meet somebody that knows you as Dirty Dave or Mack or whatever, and then you start talking to them, and they be like, "Oh man, you sound just like one of your posts." It's like, okay, that's how I am in real life.
Yeah.
So within 5 to 10 minutes of us talking, we get to chopping it up on some, like when we walked in, we started talking about, and you just like, I'm like, yeah, this is.
So
this,
most
this.
people think your Instagram account is just a persona, like it's not how you actually are in real life.
Yeah, some people be like, well, because look at it like this. Nobody sits and talk about stuff like this. It's not taboo. It's the only thing it is you having an honest conversation on topics outside of, because most black men want to talk about sports, want to talk about women. So if you remove that and start talking about something organic, then you have an actual better conversation, and then it challenges you to think outside of your normal thought process. So if I say, hey, what do you think about who's gonna win the finals? Everybody got something to chime in on it and say. But then if I say, hey, have you ever read the book of Enoch? And what do you think? Why wasn't it in the canonized version of the Bible? And then you see,
how I'm looking
Yeah,
right now.
what is that?
but the cool thing is to be able to flip it. Like
Yeah.
we can talk about sports, we can talk about this, we can talk, and then you start talking about stuff that most people don't talk about. Like, why wasn't the book of Enoch? It's mentioned in Genesis 6. Now
Okay,
I'm
what is the book of Enoch?
Leon, let's start down.
Because I'm saying that's a whole podcast in itself. But look up the book of Enoch.
I gotta read it now.
Yeah, you gotta look it up because you're gonna see some stuff and you're gonna be like, okay. So look at it like this. Nothing never just happens. If that's the correct way to actually word it. Nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. So I'm always saying lately, and on a bunch of my last Instagram posts, I say, man in itself is not that smart. But what I do is I draw the timeline and say, and we talked about this the other day in the shop.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so in the last 200 years, man has been to the moon, if you believe that. Man has started flying. Like, what happened 6,000 years before? Were we in the Stone Age? What happened?
And we touched on that because I was like, I watched the National Discovery Channel and they had the pyramids and the Stonehenge. Like, how did they build this? Now, and the scientists actually now are still confused because that technology didn't exist back then.
So what made their brains think that far ahead?
Where did the technology come from? And then all of a sudden we go blank, and then now we went to the moon in 68?
We went to the moon in 68, but the first flight was in 1914. That's technology. Technology doubled or tripled itself. The first computer was 3-4 rooms.
Yeah.
And now you have more computer power on your phone than that first computer.
But the only thing that had progressed is space travel. If everything progresses how it's supposed to, we're supposed to be flying our own little cars to the moon and stuff by now. If we keep that same principle on technology, right? Because the computer was in 3-4 different rooms, and now I have it in my phone. So if we went to the moon in 68, why we haven't been back? So
did you actually see? Did you see the phone that they used to actually call the moon? It was like a old rotary phone. It was like this phone actually, like, did the technology? Okay, so did technology exist and that's another rabbit hole we can go down. Did man actually land on the moon, or was it smoke? Was it smoke and mirrors because we was actually in a heated race with the Russians?
So I'm supposed to believe in 1968, right? We successfully flew a rocket to the moon, on the atmosphere of the moon, and we flew down to the moon, got out. When we got in, we phoned home to our TVs at home.
Yeah.
Got back in our ship and flew back to Earth. And we didn't even have color TV.
And they had actual footage of that happening too.
Yeah, so I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but hey.
But being a conspiracy theorist is really not a bad word. The origin of the word is it was the CIA coined the term. So if I'm a conspiracy theorist, that means I question what people tell me.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think you have to. In fact, when you start dealing with government and dealing with masses of people, can they really tell us the truth?
No.
About every single thing?
No.
Even I bet stuff you know right now dealing with the military. Like you said, you had top secret level clearance, which you didn't tell me any information though. But I'm sure it's stuff you could tell me right now, and I probably would panic. And can you imagine that same information being on Fox News and 10 million people seeing it at one time?
So the reason why you don't hear everything that certain people hear is because of public safety. Your way of life would change dramatically if you knew you had a missile coming towards you. Like certain things, like
you would just stop your daily lifestyle.
Think about it. You get up, you go to work, End of the day, you might stop at it. You have a lifestyle,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
something happens, and guess what? It'll be mass chaos. Civil order would be, martial law will actually be instated if you knew what was going on most of the time.
Let me go to this point for a minute. A lot of people join the military. A lot of people use it for a way out, and a lot of people they actually enjoy serving their country. But I see so many people join the military, but they don't advance in it. They get a car, and eventually how you say they don't enlist anymore after they time up. How did you get to a point where you join the military and
Stay like
climb
two,
the
3 years. Yeah.
and how do you stick with it and build a career out of
Yeah.
it? Because I think a lot of young black men need to know, how do I build a successful career in the military?
So I can put on my former recruiter hat.
Yeah.
So everybody that I put in the army, the first thing I ask them is, what do you want to do? The army in itself is, we shoot people in the face and kick open doors, but we do other things besides that. So if you say, hey, I want to jump out of planes, I want to kick open doors and shoot people in the face, okay, I got a perfect job for you. That's infantry. But in the same breath, I'll turn around and ask them, okay, so you're not going to stay in the army the rest of your life. So once you get out, what do you see yourself doing? And then if they say, well, I want to be a doctor, and it's like, well, your goals, your dreams and stuff doesn't line up. So let's make you a combat medic so you can get that exposure. So once you get out, since your college is paid for, you can go into school and be a doctor.
Yeah.
So you pretty much saying, go into something that matches your dream after the army.
Yes.
To succeed, pretty much.
Because I had like classmates that went into the military, that went in the army, and they stayed like 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then one of them, he got out, became a truck driver. The other one, he's like security guard somewhere. It seems like people in the rural areas, they just kind of move back home and they just find those hometown jobs. I mean, which nothing is wrong with that, but you just never see them.
You would want. So that is, and I'm not gonna say you blame the recruiter, but that's the person. So what did that person want to? What did that person want to do? Are they happy, or you gotta look at it like this? What did they see in their life to actually make them look at life a lot different?
Mhm.
Because you see stuff. War changes a person. So you see things to where life is really not that important. As I don't need a car, I don't need a house, I don't need things to actually validate me. As long as I do something that I'm happy at, which might be a security guard,
Yeah.
which might be something that's low level, that's just riding around cutting grass. If
It
that
makes
person
you happy.
if that person is happy, then that's it. They're at their own happiness.
How should, in your opinion, 'cause I'm kind of off the black and white issue. It's a real issue, but I think it keeps you stuck in a hole when you dwell every single thought on black and white. And that point, how do you think we should live? I guess just as people, we watched the movie Vice together with Dick Cheney, and they manipulating the whole world to go to war to take oil. Me as an everyday person, should I dwell on black power? Should I dwell on being happy? Should I try to do
So
if I know it's a confusing question, but
it's not really a
lot of people
confusing.
lost.
It's not really a confusing question, because prior to me coming here, me and my dad was having this conversation, and he was like, never become that person in life. He said people your age are genuinely mad at white people. And I was like, yeah, I can kind of see it. He said, but he said, every school you went to, you were allowed to get in. You went to Auburn University. Did they tell you no that you couldn't come there? I was like, no. He said, you went University of West Alabama. Did they tell you no that you couldn't come there? I was like, no. He said, well, have you ever went somewhere and you seen a colored sign, colored only? Or have you ever went somewhere and They told you to go around the back to get your food. And I'm like, no. And he was like, okay, so you don't know the struggle of our people that were born. Like my grandfather, for example, he was born in 1910 in York, Alabama. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being born in this area where they still lynched Negroes in 1910. That's a lot different from being born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was a lot different time. So I can't, in my heart, say I hate all white people. That'll be dumb. That'll be stupid. Because guess what? I have friends that are white. I have friends that are black. Yeah, there are some low down white people. There's some low down black people. There's some low. So you have to take people based on what you bring to the table. That's it. I have white friends who've kept my kids who can come over to my house. So the military also is like a melting pot. You don't never know who you're gonna actually be in the combat zone next to. You don't worry about what color you are. You worry about, look, are we gonna make it out of this alive? So my relationships aren't just born on color, because that would be, now at this point in my life, kind of crazy to blame people who really you don't know.
And that's why I said I move on to my mindset, because like we talked about earlier, I have a dream for my brand and how I want to stretch it out. And I think most people around me have that mindset in this county, which is predominantly black, is black against white. But I feel like it's impossible for me to meet my dreams if I'm walking around here hating a certain race. When at the end of the day, we are people. We all trying to come home, provide for our family, get back and forth each day alive. So I'm gonna cut off a whole group of people that could buy my product, receive my haircuts off of hate when I don't know you. How are you any better than the actual racist?
And that's how I feel about in my business. Like, you don't see color, you see black. I mean, you know, I went to
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, in Demopolis, I mean, it was 50-50. Demopolis is a 50 town, you know. I mean, you have some blacks that live in, you know, predominantly white neighborhoods, some whites that, you know, kind of sprinkle around in the black neighborhood, you know. But a lot of people say it's a racist town, but I mean, you're going to have a little bit in every city. It's just, I wouldn't use that as my pity part of saying, okay, it's the white man's fault that I'm not succeeding. I mean,
Now, that's what I hate more than anything.
yeah.
I hate when our generation starts to say it's the white man's fault I'm not winning in life. If my granddad, who died at 94 years old over a year ago, can die with wealth and land, what excuse do I have in 2019 not to be successful? Like what's your excuse? If he made it through all what he made it through, what excuse do you have? How's the white man's fault when the white man literally cannot block you from opportunity in schools or really anything else at this point?
You hit it on the head. What did your granddad do different than the average person out here now? He probably worked. He probably saved. He probably worked. He probably saved. But that's the generation of older Black Americans. My grandfather, he built his house. He saved every week until he had enough money to build his house. It was $6,000, but he saved every time he got paid. He went and took some money and paid on wood to actually build his house. So once he had enough, he paid people in the neighborhood, hey, I need you to lay the foundation. I need you to come frame it. I need you to come do this. And
did he teach you how to save?
Yes, his ideas. He came to my house when my first house. He came to my first house and looked around, and you could see him about to ask a question. He said, "Hey, well, how much this cost?" I said, "That's a crazy question." I said, it hurt. And he laughed and he said, "Well, no, how much did this cost?" I said, "Well, at closing, we paid about $217,000. So he laughed. He said, "You paid that cash?" It's like, who has two
laying around?
Who has that laying around? I said, "No, I went and got a loan. I went and got a VA loan, and I used my VA loan, and I did this and I did." He was like, "Oh, so you gonna owe somebody every month?" I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna owe whatever my mortgage is. And he said that they don't feel bad. I'm like, but now I see what he talk. I see his way of doing it. It made more sense. But for us, no, you're not gonna. Who actually thinks about doing that now? Who actually thinks about I'm gonna save $217,000 to build a
To
house
buy my dream house.
Yeah.
and not owe anybody?
So you're gonna buy that 65 years old. By the time you can amass, I know that with the how the economy is now, and if you're a worker bee, you think about what 65 years old to live a life in an apartment and then to save for your house. No, you're gonna get the loan at 30, buy your house, and continue to build upon it.
And now the new norm is the new norm when I bought was 30 years. Now they was like, no, you need
15 years.
you need to have at least a 15-year mortgage.
Why? I don't really see why. I know the benefit they say you pay it off faster, but it's higher payment. But why not take the 30 year? And why are you rushing it?
But the weird thing is, do you see yourself even in the housing market? I don't see myself that house. It was great for the time that we was in it, but I'm probably never going to ever live in that house again. I already know that. So it's a rental. We use it as a rental property now, and it's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a dream scenario for yourself?
Dream scenario for myself is to finish the military in a couple of years. In the first couple of years, I have a everybody on Instagram is like, well, when are you gonna drop your book? And it's probably gonna be once I retire from the military.
Have you started on it already?
Yes, the book is pretty much complete. I'm trying to actually find the way I want to publish it. Am I gonna self-publish or am I gonna go through a company? I don't know. I still have time to figure that out, but now I think the urge is now because more people are like, well, you said you were gonna do this a couple years ago, and it was like, you know what, you're right.
How expensive is it to publish through a company though?
So I just had this conversation yesterday with a guy who did a cookbook, and he was like, you have to pay the company to publish your book. You have editing, you have binding, like it's so much to where it's gonna be an initial investment in yourself, but it's
gonna pay off.
Yeah, ultimately it'll pay off,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things to where, okay, I'm gonna have to put up $5,000 to $6,000 to actually put something out. But I hear people who do self-publishing, they make it on the back end.
Okay, so at this point in the podcast, we didn't dive in what you like, and we can get people a little background story. They see how you are as a person. Now let's dive into something. Cause this is what you do on your Instagram page. So I got the first question is, how do you feel about the reports that Nipsey was killed by the government because of Dr. Sebi? Am I saying his name right? Sebi? Cause I've been familiar with him. How do you feel about the reports that the government killed him?
So we're gonna peel the layers of this onion back. So Nipsey Hussle was a regional rapper. He was a regional rapper, right? Can we agree that he was a regional rapper?
Yeah. I don't think he was in mainstream as he is now after his death.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about as far as being on the
So he was a West Coast rapper.
West Coast, right? Yeah.
He was like, I heard like one of his songs and was like, oh, okay.
I didn't think he was that popular in our South as people were saying.
Nah.
But he never sold out any shows.
No.
He never sold out any shows. Yes, he had a movement. Yes. But that information that he was putting out is already public knowledge.
It's been out.
Yeah.
I knew about it years before.
So I think that's a far stretch. Some stuff we blame on the government. The government is like, really?
Why would we?
Why? What does that do? So you gotta think about it. Look like this. What is the advantage of him being dead to the government? Because guess what? Once he actually died, who music catalog sold out? Who company? Who t-shirt company? Like who clothing store is like 2 million in back orders?
Because when my old lady told me they shot him at the marathon, I could have swore she was talking about a gas station. I ain't know the name of his clothing store What's a marathon, bro? I had no clue. So,
but he wasn't that big how they made him out to be. Like I like his music. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it before.
but I didn't know about the actual movement.
No. I knew about a little about his movement because of the entrepreneurship he spoke in his songs. But for me to sit here and lie, I was like, bro, I love Nipsey, this and that. I love him more in his death than I did when he was alive. I guess because I underappreciated the music.
Yeah.
But now it has a different meaning to it. But going as far as the government killed him, I think black people take this stuff sometimes instead of looking in the mirror and be like, we got to do better. We want to blame somebody. And instead of being like, no, it's a dumb Negro killed him out of none.
Yeah, we'll never just take the facts. Like it always has to be.
Just take it for what it is. Yeah. We know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Just take it for what it is.
But then people take it, oh, he was like Tupac. I'm from the Tupac generation, so it was like, so it was like,
he wasn't close with him.
I don't know how you would make a comparison. How you would make a comparison? Oh, this was like Pop. So then we start deifying dead rappers. God needed another flower, so he reached down in his earthly garden and pulled up Nipsey Hussle. God needed another flower. He reached down and picked up Tupac Shakur. Like it's like we want to put everybody in heaven. Like, and I think us as black people, we do that so much to where everybody goes to heaven.
No, we do that.
Everybody goes in a funeral, and you're in the funeral business, so you probably see it.
I know.
You know this dude that murdered 3-4 people. You know this dude
raised hell, just raised pure
just
hell.
to shut up somebody. And little buddy was and if you read the obituary, he accepted Christ at a young age, at the age of 5. But it don't tell you how he lived the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're quick to always put angel wings on people, and it's like, I don't know.
Everybody ain't going to heaven.
No. I don't know if it's I think it's a coping mechanism because it's like, okay.
Yeah.
To deflate blame too? You think it's a coping mechanism?
I think it's a coping mechanism because you ultimately know how people live. Like if you're around somebody and you be like, he cheats on his wife, he does drugs, like he steals money out. Like you know the character of a person. But yet and still, well, at a young age, he accepted Christ. He accepted Christ and he was baptized in the church. And this was by age 5.
We're gonna uplift him now. We missed the juvenile and the adult prison record.
And none of them folks just,
they did everything. They
always had a smile on their face, and it's like, I
think that one of our main problems. We do not accept responsibility. Even down here, I've made a few enemies in the education system, and a couple of them are coaches, because I feel like at a certain point, when do you get blamed for losing and not progressing a young child's life? Because when I grew up, we had Coach Patrick in York, and you know him, and you probably heard of him, a Hall of Fame basketball coach, 5 championships, and he progressed children's lives. Like Mario Austin, Mississippi State, NBA draft, counting other guys going to college. Because, and we live in a time now where when you blame somebody any of that, okay, you wrong. And I caught a lot of backlash because why you doing that? He's doing his job. But he's losing. These are children that are. But that's what I was saying. I think the black community now, we don't take responsibility. We just don't. It's always somebody else's fault.
I think there's actually stuff on the line where if you actually look at it, do you actually want to be blamed for something? Like if you didn't win in the NBA, for example, who they fire instead of the star player?
The coach, yeah.
But
that's the role you take, though.
Yeah,
you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, even it's never the play. It's always the coach. But that's what you sign up for, though. It's just how it works.
So is it the star players team or is it the coaches team? Who's the most disposable?
The coach. You can find coaches everywhere. You can't find players. At the end of the day.
Okay, so that answers your own question then. I don't understand why you would make this community is small, so I don't understand why you would make enemies that doesn't have anything to do with that's two different lanes. That's really two different lanes. But I can say, hey, you ought to probably try to do it like this. If this didn't work this year, well, you ought to probably try to do something different. Um, Even as a fan of the game, you can suggest stuff. They don't have to take it serious, but you can be like, hey,
At least you told them, kind of.
yeah,
Well, like what I'm saying, even in I don't know how good this is not, but most successful school systems have a decent sports program, a good sports program. 'Cause I think sports directly relates to community support, morale for the school, and we've had a losing football team for what the last 20 years, maybe except for 3 or 4 years. So I feel like if you invest in a coach, right? And for this county right here, when you invest in that coach, you pack out games, that bringing in revenue that we desperately need. You build up morale in the community. I bet you since you've been down here, you hadn't heard one person say one thing positive about the high school since you've been here.
no. And I'm a product, like I said, I'm a product of here. So it's weird. It's super weird to where in my 7th to 8th grade year at York West End, they were talking about, hey, we're gonna consolidate the schools. And I was like, what? You're gonna do what? Yes, we're gonna bring York and Livingston together. We're gonna build one big high school. And so we were hyped about it because we were thinking we get to talk to the girls from Livingston. We
Yeah.
finally get them in a central place to talk to them. But also think about it. If you remember Sumter County back in the day, Sumter County had a band, it had a football team, it had a track team, it had a and everything we were actually really good at. We were contenders in state, if not every year, every other year. So people knew who we were. Once they combine the schools, then you see, okay, where is the sports complex? Why are they still playing football at the junior highs
See,
field?
but asking those questions around here, it gains you enemies
Well,
instead of being answered.
no, because it's so management of funds. You were given this much money to build this. You came out and proposed this to the public. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to build this outstanding building. We're going to have a sport complex all in the same, not in phases. We're going to do this here for this. And we're going to have what? 2 4A schools shouldn't be a 4A school.
What school? See,
The numbers don't add up. Like if you combine 2 4A schools, this should be a 7 8A school.
this is just
Yeah.
super school. Yeah. So like I've been complaining with this for a while now, but I realize now the only way you can really make change is either gain wealth, which comes with power, or you can get in a political role to make some changes. So now I'm going for the board education in the next month. I will actually know in the next month whether I was voted in for the board of education. So I feel like that is my time to get in there, see what's going on, and to try to actually make change. And then still, if I can't do it, then I have a better understanding, okay, what's really going on.
But do you think funding comes down to y'all getting a good coach? Because, bro, it shocked me how much Demopolis coach is getting. It's like
Probably 100K.
90 or 100K a year.
But what you do is, and my mindset is, Kimball County did it. They found somebody who was up and coming that wanted a chance bad enough. And he came in there, he worked hard. No, Kimball County, they poured in us. Won a football state championship, and they took the biggest high school job in Mississippi at Starkville High School. So after that, you go and find the next hungry coach. So that's how you do it. You have to actually have a real interview process instead of hiring candidates that have lost in other places and that are from down here. So like the Mafia go and they branch out and hire coaches. We don't do that. We always.
When we talking about that a couple minutes ago? We were talking about that before we started, and it was like, okay, so Demopolis is 13, 14 miles away from Sumter County. Why couldn't we have copied what worked well there? The integration, like Demopolis has been integrated forever. Like even when I was in high school, And I don't even really mean integrated. I just mean the way that their school system functions. It wasn't hard to copy, so why couldn't we copy it and bring it here? But if you look around, you want to see like certain people want to be in charge. Certain people have to be in charge. And I think you look at that after a while and be like, okay, well, you've had your time. What did you do? Was Sumter County better after you left, or was it the same? Or was it even worse? So with you, if you do get elected, ultimately make the place better than when you arrived.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. But at the end of the day, you still have to work with other people. And if those people don't want to make real change, I'm pretty much just a placeholder. And like I told my parents already, if it gets to that point, I'm not a quitter, but I will walk away. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm hyper competitive. And I don't want to be a part of a failing system. When I'm here trying to make change, trying to do different stuff, but you have other people that's like, nah, let's hire so and so. They're a family friend. And
Are you gonna be the youngest?
I'm probably the youngest board member ever at 29 years old. I'm probably the youngest one ever.
Are they trying to see change though? That's the
But my whole thing about at the point we are at now, where can we go except for up at this point?
But you gotta think about it. Most of these school board systems, I ain't calling no names, but a lot of them are buddy systems.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
A
lot of them, you gotta know somebody. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that if you do, you're gonna actually a lot of stuff that you're gonna want to bring in. No, because it's different. It's different than what we normally do. And guess what?
In these rural areas, they like to stay the same. Too.
People do not like change.
Yeah.
Change make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we've done it here the last 30 years like
and it's
this.
failing
Well,
consistently.
But they think it's fine.
They-
So,
Hey,
it's like you coming in there just swinging on your own by yourself too.
It's tough because
so you'll be like that lone wolf.
yeah, how long that lasts? Not long, probably.
I don't know, bro. That's you talking about grown old folks
who are setting their ways, who bring because you gotta think about it, who bring their agenda to the table. Well, no, we're gonna do it like this, or well, we've been talking about this for years, and we're gonna do it like this. Hey, that's a great idea, but let's do it later. Like everything that you come up with, well, let's hire somebody not from around here. Oh no, we always done it like this. So at least we know who we are hiring. We might not properly vet them, but we know who we are hiring. Well, has he ever won anything? No, but I know his parents, or he was my fraternity brother, or he was. I know him some kind of way.
You just gotta have something to step on if you get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta.
I think the 48 laws of power will come into effect a lot. I've been reading that book. I can't touch on that too much.
You're gonna need more than 48 laws of power.
With them old folk. I don't know if y'all got old folks or not. I'm just saying they older than us, though. Like you don't know.
The situation now is 5 black female and 1 open board seat. So I'll be the only male and the youngest, probably about 40 years.
How is the oldest?
Probably 61, 62.
So you got to think about it. She comes from an older generation, so her thoughts and belief systems are gonna be totally different from yours. So that's gonna be a challenge, because guess what? You're gonna be like, ma'am, and you're gonna respect her age. But what's gonna happen is her ideas and her thought pattern. You're gonna be like, no, that's old fashioned. And then she's gonna take assault. She's gonna be offended because are you calling me old? Antiquated, your ideas,
Hey, let's get more off topic. I gotta get voted in first. I'm burning.
So we've already
my bridge.
We've already put you in office. Now this.
Hey, so when you made this post, no one has to know that you are conscious. So why I say that? Because I live in a world where when I'm cutting hair, I believe in spreading knowledge to each client. So what do you mean by that when you said no one has to know you are conscious? Well, woke in other terms.
If you talk to me for 5 minutes, you're gonna know. You're gonna know that. You're pretty much gonna know that. Okay, he kind of thinks outside the box on a lot of stuff. And I don't have to wear a shirt that says I'm conscious, I'm woke. Like, no, I don't have to have a black power shirt. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that I don't have to wear. But once we actually start exchanging and start chopping it up about certain stuff, you're gonna be like, okay, he thinks a little differently. So no, I don't have to say yes. Dirty Dave is conscious. No, I don't. Because like I said, the moment we get to talking and start talking about something, you be like, okay, he thinks a little differently, and you all automatically know. That's it. So you don't. So think about this. You come down to the level of the person that you're talking to. So if you're talking to somebody really intelligent and y'all start exchanging really cool ideas or whatever, normally you're going to actually enjoy that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to enjoy the exchange. So you're going to know. But then if somebody, the only thing, if you talk to somebody and you say, hey, what about this? And they only know like mainstream stuff, then it's like, okay, well, I see how I have to talk to you. I can only keep it on the surface level.
See, I was just about to ask you that. When I'm cutting hair, you meet a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was about to ask you, like, certain people, when we talk, man, it went on for so a while. But certain people get in the chair, and then it's always, they're going to refute every single thing you say. No matter how woke, how much it makes sense. When did you just figure out, you know what? Because I believe in helping my brother. But at what point do you be like, man, F it. He ain't getting it. And just cut it off.
I don't argue with people. The great thing about my page is you won't see me argue. Like people, my post, for example, I say something and 9 times out of 10, the caption never matches the picture. And I write something and then people be like, well, no, I think this. And they write these long paragraphs and it's like, bro, you really tried to prove your point. And either I like it and keep it moving, or if people want to be like, well, no, this is the reason, okay, but tell you what, here's my number, call, we can actually have an exchange. But no, I'm not trying to prove, I'm not gonna get in this exchange with you. Well, where are your references? Oh, are we doing term papers and stuff now? Like, well, where did you find is that? A lot of stuff is general knowledge. And in general knowledge, it's a lot of stuff. Well, where did you read it? I read a couple books a month. Like I do a lot of reading now. Am I supposed to remember the book I read it out of? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But even on my Instagram, I get into it with people I know. Like if I know you and I know you've been a follower for a minute,
yeah.
We can have a conversation about it. But just average person who comes and like, well, no, it's not that. Okay. Well, appreciate the insightful comment and keep it moving.
Yeah.
I feel that, but
yeah, you don't have to wear your consciousness. Like I don't have to wear my religion. I don't have to wear anything. But the moment you talk to me, the moment we actually have an exchange, you be like, okay, that brother does this, that brother does, and you can tell your spirit can pick up on the energy that is actually being put out by when you talk to a person.
What's your level of wokeness, though? Because you know, I've seen this guy. I can't remember his name, but he live out there in the wild somewhere, and he's crazy about the fruits, different wild fruits and stuff like that. He doesn't go in the grocery store, and he praises about alkaline water and stuff like that. You know, black sisters doesn't really like white people like that. Like, what's your level though? How far?
My level is I live in a regular world. I drive a regular vehicle. I still shop at the grocery store, but I know how to fish and hunt. That's it. That's one of the things where no, you're not doing.
Cause you meet people that got the cape on with wokeness.
Yeah,
like this water. I need this fruit. I need these.
Some of that's a far stretch. Like, but to each his own. If you ultimately believe that, then hey, that might work well for you. But guess what? I'm married. I can't say, look, no, we're not going to eat beef. We're not going to eat pork. We're not going to do no, because my wife and kids look at me crazy. Like, no, we can do this. We can do it in moderation. We can do this. Hey, my kids know how to fish. Like, I'm taking you. I'm gonna teach you something to where.
So are you one of the guys that's gonna argue? Okay, I was up at a barbershop in Birmingham. The guys are arguing, saying, when they say black, white, Native American, Mexican, well, I'm gonna just write in American. I'm not just black. I'm not African American. I'm like, you have some that argue that too. That now, can you tolerate the ones that's like that? Because that's like the ultimate level.
What color is an American? Like America. I'm old, so I've always been black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm of African descent, but I've never been to Africa. Like I'm 4 generations removed from slavery, so it's because most Africans are not going to accept you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lost person in the Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go that far with trying to actually describe
Who you are?
Yeah,
How do you-
I can tolerate this level of wokeness because you have some like the ones we were talking about with the dashikis and
But how do you enjoy life at that point? Because I know I went in Tuscaloosa one day, and I had a steak at Ruth Chris. I had a steak at Ruth Chris in Birmingham, and I came back talking to everybody in the shop. This guy in here like, man, can't believe you eating that meat like that. You know what it's doing for your insides, and I'm like, yeah, but maybe I just want to enjoy steak. Yeah, I'm not eating a steak every single night, but some people out here literally drinking certain water and nuts. I feel like you just robbing yourself of being a human at the end of the day.
Life is too short. Sometimes I do like a 90-day fast from meat, and it sucks. Like no matter what, like if I post like I'm barbecuing and I'm doing somebody, well, me, you should be a vegan. That might work for you, but I like to throw meat on the grill. Like that's how I relax sometimes.
Yeah.
I throw stuff on the grill. Does that make me less woke than you? And that whole woke thing, I think is a connotation of it. It goes so far into left field that some people just no, I'm woke. Okay, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? The most wokest people I know, they live it every day, and they don't even say they're woke. I know people off of IG who've been to jail. Like when I be like, bro, don't go there. You will go to jail. Okay, they go there and get arrested. And it's like Ferguson, Raspy Rawls. Bro, you don't need to go there. He goes there and get arrested.
Nope. He going to protest?
Yeah. And that's his IG platform, and it's cool. He's like a little brother to me because we talk back and forth. But I call him the conscious godfather of IG because that's what he does. If he believes something is unjust, he's actually going to march. He's gonna do something other than post about it.
He going now.
He's actually going. Like they were in Georgia a couple years ago.
I don't have that inside of me. I don't know. Maybe so.
Well, it's
going.
well, no. The weird thing is
I might from the couch.
The way. So if it was me, I would actually look at it different because it's me. But I got 4 or 5 people that I take care of. So it's kind of hard for me to get arrested. Like it's kind of hard for me to go support a protest or march when I know, hey, security clearance, like 23 years in the military, like. I have more on the line than just me. Yeah. So if it was me, then I probably would, but I have more that I have to take care of, more lives that I'm responsible for.
Do you meet a lot of black people? Because I bring up this question because I was in my class reunion, and it was about maybe 30 of us there, and we had a talk outside the pool, about 15 of us, and I ran into a conversation where everybody was against me, except for maybe 3 people, and they were not pro-black, but more of putting the black. She was like, I'm having the hardest time starting a business because I can't find out information. Google. And I just got my EIN number and over a year of working because this white person told me, but nobody black will help me. I'm just like, well, EIN number, that's like, so in the whole year, 52 weeks, you putting down the whole black race because you couldn't figure that out, but you praising this white person for giving you that. And so I don't understand how those kind of people, well, they any kind of reason they're gonna downplay us, and when another race comes in and maybe they do help and they uplift them, like
So
that situation.
let's dissect that. It took her.
Yeah, I said a lot. Yeah.
It takes 52 weeks. It doesn't take 52 weeks to do anything. Like it doesn't take a whole year to do anything. Did she have a business plan prior to that? Because you just don't say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start a business. And you go the next day and start a business. It doesn't work like that. 9 times out of 10, you have a business. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have a business plan. You have a business model.
Yep.
Then, depending on what kind of business you have and the money, the resources that you have available, hey, do I need to take on partners? Like it's a whole stage of just planning. And in that planning, you have to do research, so you actually have a viable product and a business plan. So when you come before the people, hey, this is what I want to do. This is my business plan. Blah blah blah. She sounded like she was just hoping and wishing.
What she wanted was a cheat code. And instead of putting in that hard work and getting up in the morning and researching and doing it, she wanted a cheat code. So she felt like she was mad at everybody black because
why everybody black?
That's my main point I'm getting to. Where why do certain people just blame the black race no matter what? They feel like if you make it, if John makes it, and I come to the funeral home business, give me your client, give me your business plan, give me your business pretty much. Instead of, look, this is how you get started, this is how I do it, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So they have a word for that. It's called franchises. That's the same. That's how franchises operate. You start a business and you want to go to it. Hey, I will make you a franchisee for a set amount of money. That includes the business plan. It includes we're going to help you with the building. That's all it is. It's just how business is franchised.
That kind of pisses me off because I just hate how certain black people put every race above us, and we put us down here.
Well, if they're black, I would suggest that they don't like themselves first. Like how when you don't know every black person. So when people make general statements like that, all white people. Do you know all white people? Mm-hmm. You just know the white people that you came in contact with. So the statement in itself is not even a valid statement.
I do feel like we were misled a little bit in high school though. Because when I came to college, I did feel a little inferior to white people. And the reason why, because it was all black high school. But whenever we did something, I bet the white boy from the academy ain't doing that. Damn, I bet so-and-so ain't doing that. Go down to the courthouse, look at so-and-so doing this. Like, our teacher, they probably did it not even knowing, but they built up everybody white. So my 4 years of high school, I'm thinking when I go to college, like, I got to compete with all of them. But getting to college and seeing what I saw, I'm just like, hold on a minute.
It wasn't even that.
Right, I'm just as smarter, better artist, like, you know what I'm saying? We get on that level, but I was taught, and it put in my subconscious that I was inferior. Mm-hmm. And I hate that more than anything.
So I actually have to applaud our teachers at York West End and Sumter County High School. They made us work harder. They actually pushed us to work harder because it was like the world that you're going to is not just black people. If you go to college, some of you go to black colleges. Some of you go to HBCUs and some of you will go to PWIs. So you have to work. If we start grinding now, you will be where you need to be. So my teachers, you can go anywhere because guess what? 2 + 2 is always going to be the same thing no matter where you go. So learn the basics, build your foundation, and go. But you know that you need to always have that same work ethic once you get there. Yeah. So, but that was old school teachers too, right?
Yeah.
And that's what me and Glenn were talking about the other day. Like, I remember one time me and my bros, we went to Classic, and some older guys were sitting above us, and they were like, "What school y'all go to?" And we were like, "Alabama." And they were like, "Alabama State or Alabama A&M?" Like, neither one of them go to University of Alabama. They're like, "Oh, you up there with all them white folks?" And I'm like, it's not even that. It's just us. I didn't see myself going to Alabama State. I didn't see myself going to A&M. Nothing against HBCUs, but I wanted to go somewhere similar to my high school. And like Demopolis was half and half. So I mean, I enjoyed every second of it.
But that older generation though, they don't seem too fun.
But then my
So
daddy went there. It was like the late 70s.
Yeah.
So
But you gotta think about it though. Where people in this area, where do the majority of when I graduated school, majority of my class went to Alabama State, Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
Only 2 people in my class, myself and a guy from Panola, wound up going to Auburn University.
But
why Auburn though?
Why Auburn? Auburn was different. I went on a campus visit and I actually liked it. It was like, okay, it's on the other side of the state. I wanted to go to UA, but UA didn't offer me any kind of money for school or anything. So Auburn was like, yeah, we'll give you money for school. Like, okay, so that's it. But I'm a Alabama fan. Like I'm a diehard Alabama fan who went to Auburn University.
Just a lot of them. So it was a lot of Auburn fans that went to school with us.
It was.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But also, when I went to Auburn, guess what? It was total enrollment. I remember writing a paper on it. It was over 29,000. Out of 29,750 were black, 400 and some were females, and the other 300 and some were males. And that encompassed the basketball and football team. So guess what? The black people in Auburn, it was like a large high school because once you seen the 400 women, you knew who
everybody was.
You knew who everybody was.
Yeah.
So you were running people in the cafeteria, or you run people you were running to people at the Haley Center, and it was like a large high school.
What's something on your mind right now that you probably gonna post about tonight?
Tonight,
Something on your mind right now.
Tonight, so now I gotta be I'm not cryptic and stuff, but what are you not hearing? I said it earlier when we came in here, and I'm like, the reason why you won't ever hear it because it will make you think outside of everything that's going on. I would say, has anybody been paying attention to what Russia is doing? And I say that in a way to where, no, you're probably not, because it's not being reported on any news media. But there's outside news media other than what you're used to. I say sometimes check out BBC. They provide a little bit more in depth of what's going on. But watch Russia, watch China, watch everybody. A Russian ship almost ran into a U.S. ship the other day.
I've been seeing the planes coming up to Alaska, up there where you at, up to there, and y'all fly up and they turn around each time.
Yeah, that's the norm. That is the norm. Russia used to own Alaska. Alaska became a state in 1959. So occasionally, Russians fly into American airspace. Americans they dispatch jets and they fly them and escort them back.
Do you think, honestly, we'll be in war in the next 5 years with Russia or North Korea or somebody? War brings the big bucks.
War does, but I don't think at this stage in the game we would never if we have a world war. I don't think, and it becomes nuclear. I don't think it's one of those things to where the world can destroy itself honestly in under an hour. If we just want to actually get really focused on the numbers, in under an hour, the world can destroy itself. And that's not to scare people, but you actually have to. In the 70s and 80s, it was called mutually assured destruction, to where the missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, would just pass each other in the air. So, and it would hit every major U.S. city. And we have depending on where we are and who we're fighting, those cities are already predetermined. So
You concerned at all with China, Russia, being in the military, knowing what you know? Are you concerned? Because they do these fear tactics every single day on Fox and CNN.
if you get caught up in the hype of it, CNN, like I look at where the news is coming at because you only get a version of it. You only get the nice, soft, clean version. You'll look at it and be like, okay, and you'll go back to cutting hair.
Yeah.
Nothing you ever normally hear on the news actually ever surprises you. So no, I don't. No, I don't think it's. But the weird thing is watch how everything is shaping up though, because what is going on in Iran now? Look outside of the world. Look outside of the United States and other parts of the world. There's a couple countries that something can happen, and next thing you know, we're in a conflict with them. Iran is one. So look at stuff like that. It might be hard to find, but you actually have to research a lot of stuff yourself.
I know we were talking the other day, and I was on Facebook, and I reshared some Fox News posted, and I was hammered. And like, Fox News, who you think you are? Why you watching Fox News? But I honestly feel like Fox and CNN, they all have their own agenda anyway. You're not getting the real news. And then we discussed this. If you want to get some real news, go to BBC and you say Al Jazeera. You have good stuff.
Like I said, sometimes I want to know what's going. But if you put both TVs on and you put it on, if something happened, like say for example a school shooting, if you put one on Fox and one on CNN, they're in the business of getting a story out first, even though they don't have all the information. I watched a school shooting once, and I was at work, and they had each station on two monitors. CNN reported like 17 people dead. Fox reported 9. It was like, wait a minute, they're both at the same event, but to actually put the story out first, guess what?
They don't care what number it is.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
right.
saying something. Yeah.
So no, I don't. I wouldn't really just trust, because guess what? It's ratings. They have to maintain their ratings. So advertisers will continue to advertise. People will continue to watch. So some stuff is actually almost like a reality show. It's scripted in some ways to actually make you watch.
With how you feeling now and how you carry yourself and how you research, are you big on politics? Are you like the 1% runs the country anyway? Or do you dwell on politics as a Democrat or Republican, independent?
I don't
What's your
know,
take?
because at the end of the day, am I a Democrat or Republican? I like some Democratic stuff. I like some Republican stuff. I don't think we need large government. Some stuff then is like, okay, so look at it from the most basic level. I want to be a congressman one day, because guess what? The pay and the retirement is great. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
It ain't because, I want to help. No, because if you listen to people who actually talk, yes, I want to help people. I want to help people in my community, but yet and still they never come back to their community.
Yeah.
It always starts off with that same underline. Yes, West Alabama, and I can start off great because I'm a product of West Alabama. Yes, I'm from West Alabama. All black this, and I want to come back here and I want to help the people of Sumter County, Alabama, and I want to do this. I want to bring industry. And you fill these people up with dreams, and then you go to Washington and
You just chill.
Yeah.
you just
Kick back.
kick back. You kick back because ultimately, think about it. Even in the government shutdown, Congress they were still getting paid.
Yeah.
So
How did it affect them?
it
At the end of the
didn't.
day,
It did.
all of them,
Didn't.
they
I think 2 of them actually said, since other federal workers are not getting paid, I'm gonna sign my check back, or I'm gonna donate it to somebody in my district.
Well, this thought I had about presidency. How can you expect somebody to truly be a president if you only pay him $400,000 a year? And when I say that is, when you the president, you should have money that be like, if Steve Jobs approached me, forget it. I'm getting paid this. I don't need the outside influence. But when you getting paid 400 grand a year, if Mark Zuckerberg puts his hand around you at 46 billion, maybe I should listen. Maybe I should put this into play. Because at the end of the day, why would you have my best interest when I can't provide nothing for you at the end of the day?
So most presidents are already millionaires.
Or they leave office as multimillionaires.
Well, they leave office, but most of them going in have already established wealth, either through family name or they're self-made, which is very few self-made millionaire presidents. But 9 times out of 10, most presidents are already wealthy.
But not as wealthy as they should be to run a country independently with not outside resources. Go back to the Clintons. They weren't rich. Okay, the Bushes were, but look at Obama. Those guys weren't rich, and Obama came into office worth $1 million, and him and his wife worth $40 million apiece right now. They only make 400 grand a year as a president.
So you think they need to actually make more?
A lot more, because if you were in an office and you were making 100 grand a year, and I'm worth 5.5 billion, I think you are more likely to listen to my ideas and how I want to shape the world.
If I'm a slide you something.
If I'm a slide to take care of you. Because all these little meetings you go to, the speaking engagements they go to, we're not paying for those speaking engagements. These are these big banking companies and the healthcare companies. They can't afford to say no.
The lobbyists.
Yeah.
So do I think you need to actually increase the presidential? No, I don't think so, because guess what? Everything you're paid. You have private security. You fly. You have a personal. Well, you have a plane at your disposal. You have a plane, a helicopter. You have a security team. You have chefs. You have everything at your disposal. You have you're not paying nothing out of your pocket anyway.
You do, but at the end of your term, you still want those speaking engagements.
Book deals, and all of that.
And,
yes. So.
And how can you secure that if you don't be massaged by the multi-billionaire? That's why politics are so corrupt. Because you have people, congressmen from Alabama, they are not wealthy, but when certain people massage you, I need that friend. 5 billion, I want life after politics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of them are already set up. They're set up to where they're going to be okay after they leave office. So
that greed exists.
Well, the current president doesn't take a salary at all. He donates it. So
he says.
Well, that's what he says. But I don't because I don't know. But that's what he says. He says, yeah, I won't take a salary. I donate it because this is probably another tax write-off. But
can you discuss this? How do you feel about Trump? You don't want to touch it?
I can't touch it because he's the commander in chief.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the commander in chief. Hey,
John.
Bruh, as an elected official, I'd rather not. You the only one that can say something. I can't say nothing.
Man, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I just skip on past that subject too.
So look at it like this: the American people elected him.
Yeah,
that's the office of the president.
I say this, and we go to the next topic. I don't think he gets a fair shake. I want to say this. I want to paint this narrative because, and I'm gonna paint it, and then I'm gonna pull off from it. But you remember when in the 80s and 90s when he was throwing all these parties, and people were coming to him, black people, white people. He'd be at Mike Tyson fights. He was super popular.
Was he a racist then?
No.
All right. So next topic.
Yeah. And I'll say one last thing. One last thing. I think a lot of the rhetoric he was speaking was to get those certain votes and to draw them in. And I'm not gonna touch on it too much because you can't discuss it and you can't discuss it. So we'll keep it rolling. what's something that you can tell us right now that'll blow our mind? It might not be something big, but I'm not as woke as you are. John might be.
I don't like that. I don't like that term.
Do I
woke.
look woke?
I don't like that term. Woke.
Hey, let's not say woke. What is something that you can tell us that blow our minds and the viewers' mind?
About what? Like I need
About anything.
like
Something random. Anything you want to say about from the animal kingdom to politics.
I don't know. Like,
Is Illuminati real?
if you look it up, if you actually look it up, yeah. Secret societies, yeah. Like at the basic level, okay, so I think everybody here in the fraternity, right?
Yeah, everybody hears something.
Okay, so everybody here is in the fraternity. Well, the idea of a fraternity was you have to do fraternities are deemed secret societies. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When really is no big secret.
Yeah.
Because the information, you can Google the information. You can Google the ritual.
Yeah.
You can Google, I'm an alpha. You can Google any ritual online. But you're taught to where it's normally kept under lock and key, right? So you go back, you start going back. And then you're like, okay, so the origins of fraternity is this. It's built from this group because a lot of the rituals, a lot of the oaths is taken, somebody else took it, and they refined it for purposes of fraternity. So when we have meetings, when we conduct our fraternal business, that's a secret society. So think about it. You have another secret society, and their whole goal is, hey, we do this, we do this. We just don't allow people to come in and conduct business while we're conducting business. Mm-hmm. So at the basic level, yeah. Now their agenda is a lot more than what I can talk about. It's a lot bigger than these are. So look at it like this. They define the world, not one generation, 3 to 4 generations ahead. If you can believe that stuff just does not happen. Presidents are not just elected; they're selected. That people are put in place to move certain agendas.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that these multi-billionaires are leaving the election to the likes of me, somebody who is not researching politics and researching information. I do not think these multi-billionaires are leaving the election for me to decide.
Or look at it like this: if I'm a banker, because if you look back at bankers fund wars. So if I'm a banker, guess what? I want you to go to war every couple years because that's what makes my family money. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Name any time period from the 40s on up, every decade. Name a decade that the United States was not in some type of conflict.
I can't. I had a discussion before.
So
I can't do it. The war is money. I think for every dollar somebody spends, 27 cents goes to the military. For every dollar spent.
So the blueprint of it is we've been in Afghanistan. We've been in Afghanistan since 2000. It's 2019. This is the longest conflict war in the history of the United States. So somebody is getting paid from it.
Yeah. So even on the movie Vice, you saw that Dick Cheney had a list of BP, Chevron. They had already put in for certain lands and lots they wanted before the war even started. Like, I got this one. I got that.
So
already.
If people don't know what you're talking about, have you seen Vice?
Mm-mm.
See it. Like it's funny, but it's not funny. But it goes back and it's doing the Bush when Bush Jr. was president, and about Dick Cheney, and it's about 2 hours long, and you'll just sit there and you'll be like,
I look at Bush
true story.
That's what it comes. It comes on. This is based on a true story.
I look at Bush a lot different now, because he didn't have any say so pretty much. I know that sounds crazy to say that the president didn't have any say so, But Dick Cheney literally ran the country how he saw fit. It was a certain email Bush never even saw.
He found a loophole. He found the loophole, and he used the loophole for his personal gain.
Yeah, he was the president.
Watch the movie Vice. I watched it on the plane ride coming from Alaska, and I would just put it on because it was like, okay, I'm on.
It's just a couple of years old, isn't it?
Watch it.
No,
Christian Bale, like the Batman guy.
Mhm.
That's who stars as Dick Cheney.
Okay.
It's good though.
Tyler Perry's in it. Like it's weird. Like wait a minute, Tyler Perry
It's
is
Colin Powell.
It's Colin Powell. I'm
You
not
gotta
gonna
see it, though.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell it, but
gotta
if you get
see
a
it,
chance
bro.
to go see
I gotta
it.
see
You
it.
gotta see it. But I'm gonna go out off the fraternity question for a minute. How do you feel about hazing? Because everybody in here pledged. So how do you feel about hazing? Do you think our founders had that in mind to black men beating other black men to join the organization? Like where you come from? Like how you feel about that? we all know what happened. Hey, bro, we all know what goes down. We all know what happened. So how y'all feel about it? About hazing at the very root of it?
I now just hearing stories from a cousin that pledged at A&M, you know, in the 80s, 70s or 80s, you know, it was public then. You know, they would call them up in lines, you know, in front of the cafeteria, you know, hundreds of people in front of them, you know, embarrass them in front of everybody. Now it's just, we moved it to it being secret, and then it's just like, you know, you had those guys that kind of slip in, and now don't think I'm against it at all, but you know, you just have those guys that have never been in an authority position, and they sneak in, and you know, when it comes to those long nights, I mean, they one of the main ones in there, but they're not teaching anything. And now that's made most of these schools, you know, most of these fraternities and sororities go paper, because you have the ones that they don't know how to control themselves. They don't know, you know, when it's enough. They don't know when you broken this guy down from, you know, a man to building him up to be, you know, what he's supposed to be. You know, a multitasker, a hardworking man, a man that's able to do many things at one time.
You think Diggs had that in mind though when he founded the frat that in 2018 somebody gonna be in the back alley of the building in the cut getting beat on?
Of course not. Mm-mm.
So that kind of what I'm getting to. Like, I believe it should be a process, but should we really just be beating the man to be a part of a black fraternity, something that was started with a real purpose? With a real purpose.
So let's look at it like this. Do you have an older, younger brother?
Yeah, I have younger brothers.
Okay, so you have an older, younger brother?
Yeah. Older sister.
Okay, so at any time, did any one of your siblings pays you to be their sibling?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did I have a younger brother, and I don't never remember ever beating him.
Not beating him now, but
well,
we had our fights.
Well,
We didn't get hazed, though.
well, 9 or 10 weeks of hazing them up to be like, all right, now you can call me brother.
Oh, nah. Oh, no. I'm taking my answer back. I mean, no. I about to mean like we had like little sibling fights. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying the normal sibling, but I'm saying,
I didn't get hazed with your brother.
have you ever had to choke your brother out to the point of unconsciousness and then be like, all right, you're not my brother?
Nah. Some of my closest people I call brothers and not in the fraternity.
So I understand that. Then I understand what it truly means in college. What it truly means in college. But then now I look at people, and maybe because I did undergrad, I look at people now in grad chapters. I'm 41 years old.
I ain't say it, man.
I'm 41. I'm 41 years old, and I see dudes my age, and you gonna go let this little 19, 20-year-old haze you up?
Ain't no way.
I can't do
I
it.
ain't going.
Now as a grown, no.
I'm 20 years in my career field. I done built up a brand. and I'm gonna go to shop and let some 21-year-old
Wear me
and
out.
wear me out. Nah, I can't.
Ain't no way.
Nah.
Because guess what? In undergrad, it meant so much to where a lot of stuff slid. It was like, yeah, oh, we gotta do this. Okay.
Cause you 18, 19. Man, UA was a blur when I went in there. You know, and it still was a blur going in the sophomore year when I did players. And I was just like, man, you know, it was just like a movie. You know, went to cluster, came back,
Yeah.
you know, got a hair shave, put a mask on, put our clothes on, walked in, you know, the little theater room, and I mean, everybody just went crazy. It's like a movie. And then after it's done, you can graduate it. Then somebody 40, 50 years old come up to you talking about, I need you to write me a letter. I'm finna do grad chapter. Okay.
Yeah.
You
So-
you right.
So we got we
About
we
to
have
check out.
we have a 45-year-old friend. He just pledged Omega, and his wife and my wife were friends, and she was like, I can't believe he stayed out to 4 a.m. I can't believe, like, when he crossed or whatever, like, she was like, I can't believe he do this now. It was like, some stuff you ought to do early enough in life to where you can actually
Enjoy it.
Enjoy
well,
it,
not
yeah.
even enjoy it, but then think about this. Now you gotta go home with your butt bruised all up
With a wife.
with a
and
wife
kids.
and kids.
Like, how that work? Like, hey,
I would say this though, all the founders, whatever organization, they did see lines at one point. Process may have been different, but they did see the line.
yeah, but that reminds me a lot of slavery tactics of being somebody into submission. I believe they did have methods.
Yeah, but it's probably something that got blurred. I mean, most everybody turning over 100 years old. Something gets blurred in that process. Like,
But-
it may be worse time than what it was then.
But I feel like you lose your best members at the end of the
You
day.
do.
Because if people I went to college with that would have been great members who I personally talked to, and when they said, I'm not getting hit, bro, you're not finna beat me to join, and now they're lawyers and doctors. And that would have been great for the fraternity.
Yeah,
Because they didn't want to go in paper, and they didn't want to play it that
but
way.
what is so? There's
Where's
like
the median at?
there's and everybody's gonna be like, no, I couldn't do paper. But if you know somebody that's paper has that stopped any of their achievements in life because they still wear it, and then they might be actually decent members. Because right now, if you ask me anything about Alpha, hey, when the last time you've been active? There's no grad chapter in Alaska, so I still do stuff. I still go do my community service part.
By yourself up there.
But I actually have it's other. I've met other alphas up there, and we hang out. We do brotherhood and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
not in the name of Alpha Phi Alpha. But it,
I just see them coming out the igloo,
That's
stepping around. No, I'm just messing
hey,
with you, bro.
literally ice cold.
Nah, Alaska. So when last time you bust a stroll out there?
Last night at a wedding that I attended, the wedding I was telling you about, it was
Before that, then.
that was it. It's been a couple years, so my wife said I had to get it out of my system. So, they played Charleston. They played Wipe Me Down,
Nah.
and I went and I went into I had some hard bottom shoes on,
yeah.
and the train came out, and there was a bunch of deltas there, and
Do they have any knowledge in Alaska of the civilians or Greek life? Is it?
Yeah, so they one of my coworkers, she's a Delta. The Delta grad chapter is huge. So they have balls. There used to be a council there, but as people come, people go, that it just dissolved.
So are these people that's in the military? Or
Yeah,
they
most
just-
of them military.
If you could, right now, and it's off topic, but we were discussing, like, I cut your hair a few minutes ago, and before the podcast started. If you could live anywhere in the world, could you visit different places? And I asked Newt first. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live at? What would be your dream scenario? Where you want to settle down at? Are you happy and democracy to the point where you know where I'm good right where I'm at?
I feel like I'm good where I'm at. I mean, I make a decent amount of money. I mean, with the number of services we do per year, I'm able to travel every once in a while. You have some funeral directors in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham. I mean, they work every day of the week. I mean, they never get to enjoy and take a break. I mean, for me, it's like quick getaway. Okay, you just want to grab a bite to eat, come straight back. Hey, go to Tuscaloosa, go to Marine. They just an hour apart.
Yeah.
You want to, take it all later out of, eat to the movie, shop a little bit. You want to spend a night somewhere, go to Birmingham, go to Atlanta. I mean, Birmingham 2 hours away. Atlanta's 4 hours away. Want to go to the beach? Okay, drive 3.5 hours down near the Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
4.5 to Destin. I mean, I'm happy where I am. I mean, I love the South. That's just me though.
I love the South. The South is home, but anywhere in the world. The question was anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, anywhere in the world.
I would live in Europe, hands down. Europe.
Why Europe though?
Because black veterans embraced Europe after World War II because they actually felt like men. They actually felt like people. They didn't have to come home. They didn't have to come home and worry about getting lynched in their uniform. I spent 3-4 years in Germany in the late 90s. I loved it. I've never felt safe. I can say I've never felt safe and free here in the United States. You're just a person. You just exist. It's one of those things people don't even. You look at you and it's like, okay, but here is the first thing you're going to identify me first as, oh, there's a black man. In Europe is more laid back. People don't care. Life is slow. There's no 24-hour stores. So if you don't get whatever you need by 5, you got to go the next morning and get it.
Yeah.
The restrictions on food. Imagine you get up and go to the bakery that morning and get enough bread for that day. It wasn't baked a month ago. It wasn't baked 2 months ago and shipped to a store. Whatever you got that day has to last you that day. You go get more fresh bread. You don't have the preservatives. You don't have none of the stuff. Living in Europe is totally different. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is what life is supposed to be like. I actually felt safe.
So it sounds like it's a society not based around money, but more of people and communication. Actually getting out the house. Because like now you have Amazon delivered to your house. Walmart will come in now and stock your refrigerator with groceries. They have that service now.
That pick up and go thing out there, you can't even grab the groceries and put them in your car. They have to put them in there for you.
Man, so they come to your house. You leave your door unlocked. They come to your house and they stuff your refrigerator with groceries. They stocking enough for you. Like you have no reason to leave your house at this point in life right now. No reason.
That's weird.
I don't like it.
That's like Big Brotherish. That's I don't know. So my home, I look at my home like this. My home is where I raise my family. It's my escape from the world. I only allow certain energies in my house. Mm-hmm. Like everybody just can't come to my house.
Yeah.
So when people come in my house, like I barbecue a lot, but I only have select people that I know, that I feel comfortable and I trust my kids around. So one thing, I just don't want Joe Public walking in my house putting stuff in my refrigerator. Like, no, I can go get my own groceries.
It's like America had forced you to a point now though. You need to spend all your time, all your free time getting money. We call it getting to the bag. So, it wants you to spend every millisecond of your life getting to the bag instead of actually taking a step back. You know what? I'm out today. Let me enjoy life.
Yeah, let me just chill.
I don't need that. No, you said you can't. Oh, but it feel like you can't. There's I used that in Europe. You had to walk to the drive. To
you
the
could
bread
walk.
store.
You could drive. You could ride a bike. You could, like I said, life was so easy there to where it was like, you know what? Wow, I don't have to be on my phone every couple seconds. Like, put your phone down. Look around. Like, you live life. I existed before cell phones, before the internet happen. So I can kind of put my phone down. And but if you have you ever watched a person, if you just watch an average person within like 30 minutes, they've been looked at a phone like 16 times.
Yeah.
I looked at mine about 5, 6.
Yeah.
But chasing the bag, that's a weird thing because you're chasing something that's not is only valued in faith. So like we were talking about the other day, the gold standard, Nixon ended the gold standard. So the bag is pretty much worthless. It's only faith in the economy. The US dollar is only faith in the US economy that it won't fall through.
It's not backed by anything.
It's not backed by
It's
anything.
a piece of paper.
Yep, that's all it is. But guess what? We will work ourselves into an early grave for what?
To buy material things to impress others on social media.
Not me, but we, you know, me and Glenn always had this conversation. It's a lot of them out here.
Like I know, like even when we out and about, people gotta have their phones out. Like, look what I'm doing. Like, but you ain't even like, okay, this the water show right here, and I'm in the water show. How can you
Like you're not enjoying the moment. You're not enjoying the moment.
Enjoy it. You gotta.
Yeah.
So it's certain comedy shows that make you actually lock your phone up.
Oh, Dave Chappelle do it.
So you can actually enjoy that experience. And I think more places ought to go to that because guess what? If you see it and you see it for yourself, it's like, okay, you don't have to actually be like tagging, look, I'm here, or look at like we fail to enjoy the moments. And the one thing that we're always in a short supply of is time. Time is constantly going. You're gonna look up, you're gonna be 30, you're gonna be 35, you're gonna be 40. You're always losing time. And with time is memories to say, hey, I've been here before, I've traveled here, I've been able to see this, like stuff that you actually have been able to do in your life, and you'll look back over and you'll be like, that was 5 years. God, dog, where has the time gone?
Yeah, I'm going through that now. Is I look up, I'm 29 years old. Bro, I just remember going to Montgomery for the first time going to cluster. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just blowing. And so many of our peers are so caught up in depression and everything else because of social media. Like, I know people that struggle with social media. Like, literally struggle.
What's the struggle with social media?
Go ahead.
Especially, and I noticed this a lot on Facebook and Instagram when May and December roll around, when those graduations get to coming around, a lot of people get discouraged, like, dog, I should have went back to school, or man, this person did, I could have did it too. And a lot of people they take that self-pity just scrolling through, you know.
I'll give you another example. I remember I was chilling with a young lady. I won't call names, none of that crap. But we was chilling, having a great time. And she was on Instagram, and one of her friends popped up with her boyfriend. And he had just didn't get proposed. And we were just joking, watching the movie and happy.
Where my ring at?
I'm this age, I'm not getting married, and I'm just happy. You were just happy. You
Yeah.
was enjoying the movie, kicking it. And you didn't spazzed out because she could be going home getting her butt whooped every night. And you went to play places with. Like, you never know what somebody else is going through in life. That's why I always say, be happy in your own shoes, in your own life. At this time, in this moment, be happy. Like, you don't know what somebody else going through at the end of the day.
But if you get caught up on social media, if you're that type, you want the attention anyway. Like, I look at people's profiles. I rarely comment on people's stuff unless it's somebody I know or somebody I have a relationship with. But people come to social media for all kind of problems, all kind of issues. Some relationships, some Instagram models, some
Instagram model.
Yeah, Instagram models. They model on their portfolio is Instagram. Like,
And they ain't getting paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some.
But like we live in this time now, and I'm watching the Joe Rogan podcast with Bill Burr, and I want to say Japan. People were suing a company because they were showing male, like how you built and how females are built, because they put work in. And citizens were suing the company because they are selling an image that they cannot obtain and will send them into depression.
It's obtainable, but you gotta ask how many hours do you spend in the gym? What is your training regimen? What is your how? It just didn't happen overnight.
But they don't see it that way.
Mhm,
All man, they see is, well, I can't be that person right now, and you making me depressed because I'm kind of on the heavy side. So I see now Nike then rolled out a fitness line for like plus size women, and I think we live in a society.
Man, I saw that mannequin the other
Bruh,
day.
but we live in a
Mannequin
society.
huge.
But we live in a society now, bro. But you cannot tell a person, hey, you need to get in shape. You need to watch yourself a little bit. That's against the rules now.
But
Now,
Instagram is that motivation for folks now. It's like some people look at them like, I'm gonna look like that. I'm like, no, because genetics play a big
But
part of
won't
that, you know.
like I know a model like in Atlanta, and one of my coworkers found her. She's a plus size model. She is like 600 pounds, and bro, like like you see this stuff.
Can you say that's unhealthy? Can
It is unhealthy.
so what is okay? So let's look at it like this: backlash. People say, "Hey, I'm honest enough to say anything I'm going to say." The backlash. Okay, is it gonna cause me to lose sleep at night? I can stand alone and say a lot of stuff and stand on it and sleep perfectly well. Oh, you're racist. You don't like white people. You don't. Oh, you do this. 23,000 people out here. Some of everything. My check has not stopped. I do not lose sleep. My kids are still doing well. So hey, that's unhealthy. Some dudes might like that, but you're taking years off your life. You're putting stress on your knees and lower back.
You can say it. We can't say it.
Why not?
Because being in a public position, I make my money from the public. So what if this mom, I'm calling her unhealthy, like, you know what? You're not cutting my 3 kids hair anymore.
Okay, so no, you just don't stand in the door. You unhealthy.
That's different
You
for
unhealthy.
him, though.
Yeah, it different.
Yeah.
You can say it, but like, even if I say it generally, like, maybe,
Big as hell.
hey, I can't say it. You can't say it.
Yeah.
When like most celebrities don't say it, because remember some years back, the plus size model came on the scene, and one of the models was like, this ain't fair. I put this time in the gym, I died, I trained to my body look like this, and you eat. And like she like, how's that fair? And the public killed her for it. They killed her for it.
I don't know. I think I'm made different. I honestly, some stuff. Okay, I said it. Let's deal with it. And guess what? It's gonna stink for a couple seconds, and then it's on to something else.
Yeah.
But look, that's how media goes.
Yeah.
Something that happened, and it'll be like, oh, it's the most awful thing, and it'll get all the attention for the normal news cycle, and then it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's gone, and you don't even. Oh, we were actually tripping about that.
See, now words don't hurt. It's the point when they start bringing their kids in and start coming in, because you in the public service business, I am too. So we get paid from people putting their trust in us and paying us. So
No, I don't think you should just go on a rant of
Oh.
you unhealthy, you unhealthy, you unhealthy. But if you actually talking to somebody, you're having an exchange with somebody, and you're like, yeah, after a while, once you get like 40, once you get like 45, the pressure on your knees, if you do anything, you're putting 12 to 1,600 pounds of pressure based on your weight. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me now.
Nah,
Now, if I'm wrong, correct me now, because
you ain't wrong.
I just phrase it different.
hey, every time you move,
I gotta phrase
every
it.
time you move, you're putting 12 to 1,600 pounds of pressure on your knees and lower back.
Yeah.
I say all that, and then end it with But if you like being that way now, I like it too. Because I can't just end it there.
No, you go back and so if it's a person you really close with, you go back and start, you were like, well, how long did your mom live? Oh, she lived to 57. Okay, well, what did she die from? Heart disease. Like, hey, man, that might be hereditary. You might really be next if you don't
get right.
Not even get right. If you don't make some lifestyle
But you
choices.
can't tell no black folks nothing about no eating, because I mean, I've had a family come in there one time. The guy passed away. Family was like, we want our autopsy done. Like, no, dude is huge.
Yeah.
Like, you already know what he passed away
yeah.
from. And it was like, I was like, okay, he just had heart surgery. Like, yeah. What he ate last night? Oh, he had a cheeseburger. That's what killed him.
But
It's like,
but we can't look in that mirror now.
Mm-mm.
We can't look in that mirror and be like, okay, this is what happened. We gotta deflect and like, you know what? They shouldn't have been serving it then. Like, no, you shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't just, if you didn't have the heart surgery, you shouldn't just be eating cheeseburger.
You know how that goes. But seriously, hey, we gotta wrap it up. Cameras down. Like, we can literally go on forever with this topic. The topic we can say the whole time. And I'll let John lead off and get your summary up. Social media, because we're gonna put it below. Then Matt, you do it, and then we'll end it.
John Scott on Facebook, www.larkinscott.com for the funeral home. If y'all just want to, give us a call and give us some, just.
Who's they call a funeral home?
Yeah, just call it a funeral home, man. Man. But yeah, Instagram, big_guns_nude.
Mac Davis, Dirty1906 on Instagram. Hey, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. We've been talking over a year. I've been trying to get in here just for a haircut. So last time in February, I was home. I was like, hey, man, I need a haircut. And he was like, no, I ain't got nothing. And he's like, okay, well, I will be back home then. So I set it up a couple of weeks. Great platform. I think we talked about everything except for sports and
Aliens.
And aliens, yeah, well, and aliens as well. But like I said, man, I appreciate the invite so much. I wish your brand well. You seem like a focused young man, and that's a great thing at 29. You're talking about brand building. I don't know too many 29-year-olds that is actually talking about, hey, I have this brand and I want to build it. So, like I said, much success in the future. Once again, thanks for the opportunity.
Ain't no problem, man. Hey, that's been real shop talk. Everything just said be below in the comment section. And peace.